Killing Fields Great Hall. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God sat there discussing the 3 battles from before. It had to be said, the battle with the female fighter was indeed a huge blow to Luo Feng. He wasn't afraid of losing, the scary thing was losing so badly. This meant, Luo Feng was still far from the pinnacle of the same level. There were definitely many stronger than him. Luo Feng saw a Killing Fields worker walking over from the corner of his eyes. Thunder God too looked around, there were only the 3 of them. He seems to be looking for us. Hong said softly. The Killing Fields worker was a skinny man with a sharp nose. He smiled and said, "Sirs, upstairs there's a meditation room owner, please enter." Meditation room owner? Luo Feng was shocked, exchanging glances with Hong and Thunder God beside. The Great Hall was where many elites that had been specially nurtured rested and chatted. And the meditation room was an extremely private room. Many warriors would specially rent a meditation room for a long period of time, and the owners were usually at least universe levels. Unless it was a rare few with too much money. Lead the way. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God stood up. All right. The worker led the way very quickly following the spiral staircase. They arrived at the 2nd level. The first level was an incomparably spacious great hall. The 2nd level was a quiet and beautiful maze. Within the maze were many meditation rooms, many universe-level warriors, even domain lords and even sector lords high above were all within. In the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, sector lords were the pinnacle of power. However, normally sector lords were active in the virtual universe Ganwu continent, and not in the Black Dragon Mountain Islands. After all, there were too few sector lords in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. To be able to frequently meet in the virtual universe was even rarer. Naturally they were willing to go to the Ganwu continent. Over there, the strong were as numerous as the clouds. This is the room. The worker smiled as he stood in front of the door, gently knocking. Enter. A thick voice resounded. The door opened. The worker bowed respectfully. Sir, I've brought the 3 guests. After which the worker left. Luo Feng and his 2 brothers carefully looked at the meditation room where an incomparably tall and sturdy man had already stood up. His entire body was green and black, almost like he was made of steel. The 3 of you please come in, the burly man said. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God weren't afraid, immediately entering the meditation room. After entering the meditation room, the entire room seemed to light up. Luo Feng looked at the tall and sturdy man before him and was suddenly shocked. This tall and sturdy man was wearing a battle robe on his left chest and on it was a medal. The picture on the medal was 2 planets floating above a sea of blood. Universe 2-star Mercenary. 2-star? Oh my god. Luo Feng was completely shocked. To participate in the Universe 2-star Mercenary exam, one of the requirements was to reach the Domain Lord level. Hence, among the Universe 2-star mercenaries, the lowest was a Domain Lord or even a Sector Lord. An Area Lord. What sort of concept was that? For example, the Silver Blue Empire, the Kaluo Empire, and other low-level empires in the universe did not dare to provoke a Domain Lord. They were experts who could carve out an area and be the master of it, and they could even receive the recognition of the universe. If one were to say that the universe-level warriors could destroy Earth, they would need to attack it time and time again. In that case, a domain master would only need to strike the ocean with a single punch, causing a great flood, to drown the entire Earth and cause a great extinction. This was a Domain Lord. An absolute existence that could make the low-level empires in the universe tremble. Back then, the Master of Dragonstar was only a Domain Lord, and the one before them was even stronger than a normal Domain Lord. Greetings, Lord. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God exchanged glances and said respectfully at the same time. Respect for the strong, this was an accepted etiquette in the universe. I've been observing you for over a month. The tall and sturdy man looked at Luo Feng and the other 2, revealing a smile. Ever since you entered the killing fields, you've been training here every day, not stopping for a single day, am I right? Luo Feng was shocked. He was at least a Domain Lord, observing the 3 of them for over a month? Luo Feng turned to look at Hong and Thunder God. They too were in shock. However, I don't understand why you've been staying in the killing fields. Occasionally being in the killing fields is fine, but staying there for long periods of time, that's just a waste of time. The tall and sturdy man looked suspiciously at Luo Feng and the other 2. Waste of time? Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. What do you mean? Thunder God creased his eyebrows too. Hong looked silently at the man. Didn't your teachers tell you that the fastest way to evolve, the fastest way to improve, is to train in life and death situations? The tall and sturdy man asked curiously. This I understand. Thunder God said. Hong and Thunder God naturally understood. Earth's fastest generation of warriors was during the Grand Nirvana era, and during the Muya Crystal era. Back during the Grand Nirvana era, within a few short years, humanity went from being weak and small, to instantly producing large amounts of warriors, even to the Star Traveler level. And after a few decades, the Muya Crystal was discovered, producing a new batch of warriors. If you understand, why do you still stay in the killing fields? The tall and sturdy man asked. This is also a life and death battle, it's also incomparably difficult and dangerous. Thunder God said. Wrong, you're ridiculously wrong. The tall and sturdy man laughed, shaking his head. Looks like you don't have a teacher, or in other words, your teacher's standard is very low. Luo Feng and the other 2 listened carefully. For a Domain Lord to be able to speak to the 3 of them, it was their luck. Do you know why life and death battles allow one's power to rise so quickly? Comprehension fast? Evolution fast? Do you know the theory? The tall and sturdy man looked at the three. Luo Feng and the other two shook their heads, they really didn't understand the theory. The tall and sturdy man exclaimed, between life and death there's great terror. Between life and death, there's limitless motivation. Just like facing a needle piercing your eye, you can't help but close your eyes, it's a conditioned reflex. Against a life and death situation, every cell in the body will struggle like a conditioned reflex, even the genetic material will accelerate and evolve. The terror between life and death will cause the body and even the soul to reach a pinnacle of evolution that humans can't achieve. In such a state, it's easier for a person to comprehend, evolve and raise their power. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God all held their breaths. This is a conditioned reflex. Or it could be called a life reflex. Against death, life will emit the deepest and most intense struggle. People train hard for decades and are unable to break through, maybe a life and death situation will allow them to break through. The tall and sturdy man looked at Luo Feng and the other two. Between life and death, there's great terror, there's limitless power, this is why countless warriors risk their lives and enter life and death battles. Luo Feng muttered within, between life and death, there's great terror, there's limitless power? Hong and Thunder God too were deep in thought. Warriors. The warriors I'm talking about are universe levels, domain lords, sector lords, and even the legendary Undying. The tall and sturdy man emphasized, over 99% of them join the Universe Mercenary Alliance and go through life and death battles. The Battle Axe Coliseum, an incomparably cruel coliseum, every life and death battle, there's bound to be one side dying. Such a coliseum, yet it's so popular, is because on the edge of life and death battles, it's the fastest way to evolve. The strong warriors in the universe, how many haven't walked through life and death battles? The tall and sturdy man looked at Luo Feng and the other two. That's why I'm curious, why the three of you keep wasting time in the killing fields. Occasionally during these few days it's considered training. However, the battles in the killing fields are training, there are teachers etc. Yet they're unable to achieve the results of life and death battles. Because, the killing fields and battlefields, even if you die you can instantly revive. Second brother, third brother, why did you call for me? A black-clothed Hong smiled, walking over in high spirits. Why does it seem like you two aren't in a good mood? We lost. Luo Feng shook his head. We lost very badly. Thunder God's expression was ugly too. Losing is a good thing. Hong sat on a chair beside, saying, only by losing can one discover one's weakness, only then can one improve. But we lost too badly. Luo Feng glanced at Hong. Big brother, you seem to be in a good mood? Haha, I met an opponent, a very strong one. Hong laughed as he glanced at Luo Feng and Thunder God. If the two of you were at the Star Traveler level 9, you probably wouldn't be his match. Extremely powerful. If it wasn't for this month of training in the killing field space, I wouldn't have been able to beat him this time. It's really satisfying to meet such an opponent. The killing fields, other than the lower cost, larger halls with higher human traffic. There were also some meditation rooms that had a high degree of privacy. Within one of the meditation rooms, a tall and sturdy man, his entire body green and black, sat on a sofa, looking at the screen before him. On the screen were 3 videos simultaneously, Luo Feng against the female fighter, Thunder God against the female fighter, Hong against the white rogue youth. The sturdy man's eyes lit up like never before. He stared hard at the third video. Hong against the white rogue youth. He's actually a level 3 domain? That last spear, the domain he unleashed, is definitely a level 3 domain. A Star Traveler level 9 punk actually reaching a level 3 domain. The tall and sturdy man was incomparably excited. Suddenly, pop, pop, pop. A knocking sound resounded. Enter. The tall and sturdy man said. The door opened. A white-robed female fighter with a serious expression, and a white-robed skinny youth swordsman walked in, closing the door, after which the white-robed female fighter bowed respectfully. Lord, mission complete. Very good, you can all leave the virtual universe and return. I've already sent the contribution points. The tall and sturdy man said. Yes. The white-robed female fighter and the white-robed youth became nothing. Obviously their consciousnesses had left the virtual universe and returned to reality. Luo Feng turned to look. Hong and Thunder God too were staring intently. The human race in the universe is incomparably huge, with tens of millions of races, they can be roughly split into these 10 classes. The tall and sturdy man pointed at the screen and smiled. Luo Feng looked carefully, the list was extremely clear. First rank human bloodline, reaching the region lord, at adulthood was the first rank. Human bloodline 2nd grade, reaching the universe level at adulthood, 2nd grade. The 3rd and 4th grades were all stellar level at adulthood. The 5th and 6th grades were all planetary states at adulthood. The 7th and 8th grades would be apprentices at adulthood. The 9th and 10th grades were all mediocre at adulthood. However, based on cultivation talent and other factors, the probability of a race producing a powerful expert was divided into the 9th and 10th grades. What is your race's bloodline? The burly man asked. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God exchanged glances. According to the description on the list, the bloodline of the Earth's humans was considered the 9th level. After all, the majority of the Earth's humans who had reached adulthood didn't make the cut. However, according to Luo Feng's plan with large amounts of purple light drink, he believed that in 100 years, the humans of Earth would be able to reach the 8th grade bloodline. 9th grade. Luo Feng looked at the tall and sturdy man. 9th grade. The tall and sturdy man looked shocked at Luo Feng, before looking at Hong and Thunder God in disbelief. Yes, level 9, Hong said. So what if I'm in the 9th rank? We can still break through by ourselves. Thunder God said. The tall and sturdy man laughed, his laughter was deep and hearty, continuous. That's not what I meant, I'm just very surprised, a 9th grade bloodline race actually able to produce 2-star level 1 warriors and a star traveler level 9, this is rare, really rare. A 9th grade bloodline meant that one's foundation was low, and it would be very difficult for one to achieve great things. I admire you very much, the burly man said. And congratulations. Congratulations. Luo Feng and the other two were curious. Yes, your race's bloodline is relatively low, which makes it very difficult for you to break through and evolve. It's much more difficult than breaking through with high-grade bloodlines. But at the same time, if you use the evolution catalyst to improve your bloodline, it will be easier to improve your own bloodline, the burly man said. Evolution catalyst? Bloodline evolution catalyst? A shocked cry resounded within Luo Feng's consciousness. Babata, why are you so shocked? Luo Feng communicated mentally. Luo Feng, the person talking to you is definitely from a superpower. The bloodline evolution catalyst was definitely a restricted product in the universe. If one didn't have a certain status, they wouldn't even have a channel to purchase it. Only by spending thousands of times more money can you buy a bloodline evolution catalyst. Babata said, think of a way to get the bloodline evolution catalyst from him, that's definitely a top-notch item. Evolution catalyst? What does it do? Hong asked. Isn't our cultivation for the sake of evolution? Thunder God looked at the burly man in front of him, puzzled. The burly man smiled. Let me put it this way. The process of ordinary human cultivation is like building a house. Bloodline was the foundation of a house. A poor bloodline represented a poor foundation. When people with poor bloodlines cultivate, they are constantly building tall buildings on top of their poor foundations. As the buildings get taller and taller, they naturally have to strengthen their foundations again and again to make the buildings taller and taller. But the higher the building, the more troublesome it is to strengthen the foundation. And for those with strong bloodlines, it means their foundations are very good. They can easily build up to a 100-story building and directly become a domain lord. There won't even be any obstacles. The bloodline evolution catalyst, its use is to change your bloodlines. It's equivalent to changing your foundations in one go. From a poor foundation, it'll instantly become an intermediate foundation. This will make your building process much easier in the future. Do you understand? The burly man smiled. Luo Feng, Thunder God and Hong all understood. The bloodline evolution catalyst is unable to directly increase one's strength. However, it can make your future training much faster and easier. The burly man smiled. Of course, this bloodline evolution catalyst isn't sold in any of the shops or other places. As the cost of creating the bloodline evolution catalyst is very high, and there aren't many of them, naturally they won't be sold. Unless someone offers a shocking price, only then will they sell a portion. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God weren't idiots. An absolute warrior that was at least a domain lord had told them so much and even mentioned the bloodline evolution catalyst. Do you know who developed the bloodline evolution catalyst? The burly man asked. No idea. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God shook their heads. Virtual Universe Company. The burly man said directly, in the human world of the universe, the Virtual Universe Company with the strongest technology. This bloodline evolution catalyst was developed by them. Virtual Universe Company? Luo Feng understood. The Virtual Universe Company's network, it allowed anyone in the infinite universe to instantly enter the network and communicate with friends. What kind of technology was that? And the most shocking thing was, the Virtual Universe Network, not only did it exist in the actual universe, it also existed in the dark universe. It was even more shocking. The network, constantly traversing through the universe. What kind of technology was that? It was incomprehensible. Profound and unfathomable. Haha, I haven't introduced myself yet. The burly man smiled. I'm the Virtual Universe Company, stationed in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's Black Dragon Mountain Department, an external manager Ming Yu. You can call me Mr. Ming Yu or Lord Ming Yu. Lord Ming Yu. Luo Feng and the other two bowed. Luo Feng, however, was shocked within. My God. Babata was right, this burly man indeed had a huge power backing him. The Virtual Universe Company, this was one of the 5 great leviathans of the human world, much stronger than the Gangwu Universe Country. Even the Yun Mo Planet Master before the Virtual Universe Company was just an ant. After all, even the Yun Mo Planet Master didn't dare mess with the Gangwu Universe Country. And the Virtual Universe Company was spread across large amounts of universe countries. What kind of power was that? A department in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, sending out an external manager, was at least a domain lord being. Powerful. It made one's heart tremble. So Lord Ming Yu is from the Virtual Universe Company. Thunder God praised. The tall and sturdy Ming Yu smiled. He too felt proud of this. Originally, the troops of the 5 great leviathans would naturally have a sense of superiority. This bloodline evolution catalyst was created by our Virtual Universe Company. The tall and sturdy Ming Yu smiled. However, the bloodline evolution catalyst is a restricted item, very little of it circulates outside. Even if one has the ability to buy it outside, the price would be terrifyingly high. However, if one were to join our Virtual Universe Company, to the internal members, especially the absolute elites, we can even provide them for free. Free? Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God were stunned. Rich and overbearing, this virtual universe company was indeed rich and overbearing. Right, in terms of wealth, who could compare to the virtual universe company? For example, in the slaughterhouse's slaughter space, a sector lord level 1 spirit reader would spend 3.5 billion Ganwu dollars a day. Just how shocking was the wealth of the virtual universe company? They didn't even dare to think about it. The Yun Mo planet master probably couldn't even compare to a strand of hair on their thighs. Yes, free. The tall and sturdy Ming Yu looked at Luo Feng and the other two, his eyes gleaming. Our virtual universe company has been searching for geniuses and elites from the many universe countries, and the three of you can be considered geniuses. Your consciousness strength is really very strong, star level 1, your consciousness amplitude has exceeded 36? Luo Feng blushed with shame, his consciousness strength was strong because of the golden horned beast. You two are not bad, star level 1 with a domain. The tall and sturdy Ming Yu looked at Thunder God. The two of you can be considered level 3 elites. The tall and sturdy man finally looked at Hong, his eyes gleaming. Of course the most powerful is you, a star traveler level 9, not only with a domain you've reached level 3. 2, your comprehension, it's simply too shocking. You can be considered a level 1 elite, you can be considered a seed elite. Luo Feng was speechless. Relying on the golden horned beast's powerful consciousness strength, he was actually only considered a level 3 elite. Before, I've arranged for 2 people to battle with you. The tall and sturdy man pointed at the screen, on it appeared 3 videos, one of the white-robed female fighter and the white-robed youth. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God weren't surprised at all. They had guessed that the 2 powerful people that suddenly appeared were arranged by the person before them. She belongs to our virtual universe company's special elite. And he is a level 2 elite. The tall and sturdy man explained. Special elite? Luo Feng and Thunder God stared at the white-robed female fighter in the video. Even the Star Traveler level 9 with a level 3 domain Hong was only judged as a level 1 elite. And this female fighter before them was actually judged as a special elite. No wonder when this female fighter fought with Thunder God and himself, it was as easy as playing. The universe is vast, there are countless countries like the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Geniuses, of course there are even more. Our company nurtures seedlings, they are divided into special, level 1, level 2 and level 3, these 4 levels are just the divisions of our Black Dragon Mountain department. If it were the main company the divisions would be even stricter. The tall and sturdy Ming Yu said. These words made Luo Feng and Thunder God completely stunned. In the Black Dragon Mountain department, the 2 of them were considered the bottom? Don't be discouraged to be judged as a genius by our company, even the lowest level 3 elite. Amongst the fighters and spirit readers they're top-notch. The tall and sturdy Ming Yu consoled them, as long as you're willing to join the Black Dragon Mountain department. Oh right, I still don't know your names. Luo Feng, Hong, Thunder God. Luo Feng and the other 2 didn't hesitate, these 3 names weren't taboo. To a huge entity like the Virtual Universe Company, they probably already had their names and information. Luo Feng and Thunder God, the moment you 2 join, you'll get a Bloodline Evolution Catalyst for free and Hong, he'll get an S-type Bloodline Evolution Catalyst. The tall and sturdy Ming Yu looked at the 3, are you willing to join our Virtual Universe Company? Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God exchanged glances. Lord Ming Yu, I have a question. Hong looked at the tall and sturdy man before him, if we join the Virtual Universe Company, what do we need to do, what are our duties? In the beginning you were weak and the company was nurturing you. Therefore the management was very strict. You must obey the company's orders, go through training, go through life and death trials, etc. However, as your strength increases, your freedom and authority will continue to expand. Universe level, domain lord, sector lord, the stronger you are, the more freedom you have, you only need to do some things at the crucial moment. Ming Yu said directly. Luo Feng and the other 2 hesitated. Strictly monitored? Hong and Thunder God were the founders of martial arts dojos. How could they endure the strict management of others? If they are weak, can't they move freely during the period of nurturing? Hong asked. Luo Feng and Thunder God looked at the tall and sturdy man before them. There's a holiday, a prescribed holiday. The burly man said solemnly, the period of nurturing those who are weak is very strict. You must understand this. Vacation. With the Virtual Universe Network we can meet and chat with family and friends, actually holidays don't have much meaning. Hong, Thunder God and Luo Feng all shook their heads. Unacceptable. Training period? Maybe the entire star level in the Virtual Universe Company was designated as a nurturing period. Over 100 years or even longer, it was strictly managed. Luo Feng and the other 2 couldn't accept it. Ming Yu frowned slightly and sighed in his heart. He couldn't stand the strict management. He had encountered such situations many times as an external manager, he often invited geniuses to join his Virtual Universe Company. However, since they were geniuses, there were powers that tried to rope them in. Most of these geniuses were arrogant and unruly. How could they be willing to be under strict management for a long period of time? Thus there were many who refused. But the important members of the Virtual Universe Company had to go through strict management, brainwashing, etc. We cannot accept it, Hong said. Oh, of course. Ming Yu smiled, what I said earlier was internal members. Our Virtual Universe Company is split into internal and external members. Internal members have many benefits and the management is stricter. As for the external members, they had more freedom but the benefits were much less. They are far inferior to the internal members. For example, I am an external deacon. Ming Yu laughed, If you guys become external members, although you won't be able to obtain the Evolution Catalyst for free, you can still purchase the Evolution Catalyst. If you buy the first set, you can enjoy the low price. The price for a second set is higher. An ordinary external member can only buy 3 sets at most. How much? LuoFeng asked. Bloodline Evolution Catalyst, buying the first portion, price is 100 million Gangwu dollars. If it's the second one, it would cost a high price of 1 billion Gangwu dollars. Ming Yu said, Bloodline Evolution Catalysts are very rare in the outside world. Only those with heaven-defying methods would be able to get their hands on them. The price is also very exaggerated. At the same time, the Virtual Universe Company strictly forbids you from selling the Evolution Catalysts, if you are discovered to be secretly selling them. Die. Ming Yu said casually. LuoFeng immediately gave up on selling it. These are some of the rules for becoming an external member of our virtual company. Take a look and see if you can accept them. The tall and sturdy man Ming Yu pointed at the screen. Immediately, a large number of rules appeared on the screen. 5 minutes later. Welcome to the Virtual Universe Company. Right now you are all external members of our Virtual Universe Company, Black Dragon Mountain Department, temporarily under my control. If there's anything you can send me a message. The tall and sturdy Ming Yu smiled. Yes, Lord Ming Yu. LuoFeng Hong and Thunder God bowed slightly. After leaving the slaughterhouse, Zhang Xian returned to his residence, 9-star bay on the Black Dragon Mountain Island. External members really have a lot of freedom. They actually allow us to join normal organizations, even allowing us to join the Gangwu Dojo. That's unbelievable. Thunder God walked along the cobblestone path of the lake, exclaiming in shock, they only forbid us from joining the Battle Axe Dojo and other powers from other universe countries. The Virtual Universe Company's warrior department was split into internal and external. The internal was the most loyal, and also the most important part of the Virtual Universe Company. They were absolutely forbidden from joining other powers. The external was much more relaxed. For example, a sector lord of the Gangwu Dojo, upon receiving an invitation, could join the Virtual Universe Company's external department. Usually when there were important battles or matters, they could let the external members fight for them. Usually there weren't many restrictions on the external members, as long as they didn't join other superpowers of the same level. The Virtual Universe Company doesn't even put the Gangwu Dojo in their eyes. LuoFeng smiled. Haha, joining the Virtual Universe Company, LuoFeng, I originally wanted you to borrow the Gangwu Dojo's power. However, if you can have a high enough position in the Virtual Universe Company's external department, that's still impressive. That's still incredible. Babata was very excited. Big brother, second brother, do you have enough money to buy the evolution catalysts? LuoFeng asked. Enough. We still have enough. Hong and Thunder God said. LuoFeng felt helpless within. The main thing was that his funds were indeed tight. Because of the large amounts of metals that were 89 times faster, madly swallowing them to evolve his internal world. He believed he would be able to break through to the universe level in less than a year's time. The universe level golden horned beast required 100 or even 1,000 times more expensive. His own money calculating he didn't have enough. Back then that teacher of mine probably didn't expect his disciple to have a golden horned beast body. The golden horned beast, it really is a gold-consuming cave. LuoFeng thought within. Third brother, after discussing with the external department, I've decided to prepare to go to the Universe Mercenary Alliance to sign up. Hong's eyes gleamed, even though I'm still unable to take the trainee exam however, I can't hold it in any longer. Me too. Thunder God licked his lips, his eyes gleaming with a wild glint, dancing on the edge of life and death. Only these days are exciting. You all? LuoFeng was stunned. Third brother, are you coming or not? Hong asked. Shall we go together? Thunder God looked at LuoFeng. Among the fighters of Earth, how many of them were cowards? Go, of course we'll go together. LuoFeng said. Haha. Thunder God laughed loudly. Brother. Hong patted LuoFeng's shoulder. LuoFeng looked at his two big brothers whose hearts were already burning with passion, thinking within, adventure? Yes, I too want to adventure. The feeling of dancing on the edge of a blade is indeed wonderful. Back then in the wilderness, battling with the monsters to the death, that kind of feeling made one's heart skip a beat. If big brother and second brother really meet with danger he can't defend against, I can also release the golden horn beast body and save them. LuoFeng thought. The existence of the golden horn beast had to be kept a secret. However, if he met with danger he couldn't defend against, he would definitely release the golden horn beast. Killing Field's Great Hall. An incredibly old green-skinned old man sat in the corner of the Great Hall, holding a cup of water. That wrinkled forehead was raised, his muddy eyes occasionally looking around. He was the person in charge of the Black Dragon Mountain Islands Killing Fields. Man Luo, a rather famous old man here. At this time, the tall and sturdy Ming Yu swiftly walked over, immediately arriving before the green-skinned old man. Lord, Ming Yu said softly. How is it? The green-skinned old man's muddy eyes looked at him. Ming Yu lowered his head respectfully. Lord's guess is very accurate. The three of them aren't willing to join the inner circle, only joining the outer circle. And that Hong is indeed very powerful. Star Traveler level 9, Domain level 3. Domain level 3? The green-skinned old man's eyes gleamed, his originally muddy eyes suddenly became extremely clear, almost as though they were filled with endless wisdom, able to see through one's soul. Before this old man, this Universe 2-star mercenary Ming Yu was incomparably respectful. That was purely from the bottom of his heart. Very good. The green-skinned old man smiled and nodded, his eyes regaining their muddy look. To be able to discover a level 1 elite, that's not bad. After all, special elites, that's something that can only be discovered and not sought. Such a genius, indeed, cannot be forced. To be able to join the outer circle is already not bad. Let them develop on their own. Yes. Ming Yu said respectfully. The so-called inspection of Luo Feng and the other two, the so-called observation for a month. These were all orders from Lord Man Luo. Ming Yu himself, actually wouldn't have the time to leisurely observe Luo Feng and the other two for a month? Spring was warm and the flowers were blooming. In China's Yangzhou city, a C9 grade dark blue triangular universe ship floated in the air above the castle. This was the ship Luo Feng and the others had just bought, spending 11 billion Black Dragon dollars. To the current Luo Feng and the others, this indeed wasn't a huge sum. After all, the planet's defense system alone cost Luo Feng tens of times more than the ship. Don't cry, Daddy is only going out and we can still meet in the virtual universe. Come, be good, give Daddy a kiss. Luo Feng half squatted in front of his two sons. The two very cute and handsome boys kissed Luo Feng fiercely a few times on his cheeks, hugging him tightly, seemingly reluctant to part. Son. Luo Hong patted Luo Feng's shoulder. I won't say much, take care of your safety outside. Right, where's Luo Hua? Luo Feng looked around. Zhen Nan, who had come to send them off, said, Luo Hua, these few days his financial investments have been extremely tense. Right now it's trading time, he doesn't dare relax at all. Hence, he told me to tell you when we return to the virtual universe I'll apologize to you. This punk. Luo Feng shook his head and laughed. Luo Feng said his goodbyes to his family. Beside him, Hong's and Thunder God's families also sent them off. After which, Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God brought their two slaves and boarded the universe ship. The dark blue triangular universe ship slowly rose into the air. Under the watchful eyes of the three families, it swiftly flew into the atmosphere and disappeared from their field of vision. The universe ship flew for about 8 hours in the dark universe, passing through the universe and arriving at Bloodline Star, 11,800 light-years away from Earth. Bloodline Star North, extremely cold region. A C9 grade dark blue universe ship landed in front of the castle in the center of the warehouse. The castle guards immediately came forward to welcome them. We'll first stay on Bloodline Star for 3 days. The virtual universe company will need about 3 days before they can send the Bloodline Catalyst over. Luo Feng immediately jumped down from the cabin door, stepping on the thick snow, crunching sounds could be heard. Beside him, Hong and Thunder God jumped down too, walking beside Luo Feng. Luo Feng was dressed in a blood-red armor, his waist belt tied tight, his armor fluttering in the cold wind. Thunder God was dressed in a white armor, Hong was dressed in a black armor. Of which Luo Feng and Hong's armor were made from the cloud contact vine. Only Thunder God had specially bought a level 2 genetic energy armor. That external department Ming Yu, he bragged about the Bloodline Catalyst so much, who knows if it's true or not. Thunder God muttered, in the virtual universe network, I can't even find any information about the Bloodline Catalyst. Then your authority is not enough. Luo Feng smiled, searching for information in the virtual universe network with our normal identities, finding some unimportant, unclassified public information is very easy. However, some restricted information requires a high enough level of authority to view it. Tisk, levels are everywhere. Thunder God shook his head. What places don't have levels? The rich and the poor, those in power and normal people. Hong smiled indifferently. On the evening of the third day on Bloodline Star, due to the reflection of the snow, the sky was still relatively bright. A disc-shaped dark gray universe ship didn't even stop at the planet's docking bay, instead flying straight to LuoFeng's warehouse base. On this universe ship, there was a huge virtual universe logo representing its identity. Rumble. The ship stopped. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God stood on the snow, raising their heads and looking at the ship. Hua. The cabin door opened. 3 men and women dressed in black armor. The leading lady was carrying a briefcase, the other 2 followed beside her, directly flying out from the cabin door, landing in front of Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God. The leading lady wore black glasses as she looked at Luo Feng and the other 2. Her glasses flashed a string of data that only she could see. Identity confirmed. The transaction can be completed. Luo Feng, Hong, Thunder God, these are your Bloodline Evolution Catalysts. The white-skinned, cold-faced lady immediately opened the suitcase. Within it were 3 colorful syringe-like tubes filled with colorful liquids. With a kacha sound, she closed the suitcase and handed it to Luo Feng and the other 2. Thank you. Luo Feng extended his hand to receive it. The 3 men and women immediately turned and flew into the universe ship. In a few seconds, the ship took off and rushed into the sky, breaking through the atmosphere and leaving Bloodline Star. Bloodline Evolution Catalyst. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God looked at the briefcase. Go, let's go in. Luo Feng shouted. Haha, I can't hold it in any longer. Thunder God's eyes lit up. Luo Feng and the other 2 each took a portion of the Bloodline Evolution Catalyst and entered their own training rooms. Bloodline Evolution Catalyst. Luo Feng looked at the colorful liquid in the long needle in his hand. This liquid was incomparably beautiful, so beautiful that it made one's heart tremble. Begin. Without hesitation. He immediately took off the cap of the needle and pierced it into his skin. Slowly pushing it out, the colorful liquid within the needle began to seep into Luo Feng's body. Almost like a crazy cancer cell, it began to madly devour every cell in Luo Feng's body. The pain of being sliced by 1,000 knives rushed into his mind. Damn. Luo Feng gritted his teeth and curled up on the ground. His teeth were clenched tightly, making noises. His gums were bleeding and fresh blood flowed out from the edges of his lips. It really hurts. Luo Feng, bear with it. This thing changes your bloodline from the deepest part. It is indeed very painful. Bear with it, just bear with it and it will be fine. Babata consoled. How much longer? Luo Feng felt his consciousness trembling. Very quickly, not even an hour. Babata said. An hour? Luo Feng could only grit his teeth and endure. No matter how painful it was, he had to endure. Luo Feng didn't hear any howls from the 2 training rooms beside him. Obviously Hong and Thunder God were also enduring the immense pain. Luo Feng's nose emitted a painful groan. And within his body, every single cell in Luo Feng's body had become a battlefield. Whether it was his muscle cells, bone cells, etc., they were all in battle. The evolution of the human bloodline, according to logic, was a long and gradual process. And the Bloodline Evolution Catalyst was developed by the Virtual Universe Company to speed up this fundamental evolution catalyst. The cost of each one was very high. Within the training room, Luo Feng laid on the ground with his arms spread wide open. His clothes were all wet and stuck to his body, showing off his incomparably strong and muscular body. At the same time, his entire being was extremely tired as he laid there without moving. So tired. Too tired. My entire body has completely dispersed. I don't even want to move a finger right now, Luo Feng's consciousness said to Babata. However, there's a comfort that comes from the bones. It's really very comfortable. The bloodline evolution process is definitely painful. However, after the evolution, it's naturally very comfortable. This process actually consumes a large amount of your own life force. You should hurry and use the Ming Yu crystal. It contains a large amount of life force and is a treasure that can accelerate the evolution process. It's best if you use it now, Babata said. Understood. Luo Feng nodded. Inform my big brother and second brother to use the crystal, Luo Feng ordered. Babata used his communicator to inform Hong and Thunder God. Within LuoFeng, Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God were all immersed in their training. One Ming Yu crystal contained a shocking amount of energy. Normally, Luo Feng would only need to spend a little bit of time every day to completely fill up his body. And today, after going through the bloodline evolution, his starving body was madly absorbing the Ming Yu crystal's energy. It's incomparably beautiful. Luo Feng sat crossed-legged, holding a Ming Yu crystal in his hand. Large amounts of life force energy madly entered his body. Every single cell that had just undergone a fundamental change was incomparably hungry as they madly swallowed the energy. They were all too hungry. Every bit of energy that entered his body was immediately swallowed. This absorption process continued on and on. Roughly 23 hours later, the Ming Yu crystal was completely absorbed. Luo Feng took out another Ming Yu crystal. The process of absorbing the Ming Yu crystal's energy was also part of Luo Feng's body's evolution. As his body continued to evolve and grow stronger, naturally Luo Feng's ability to absorb spirit energy also increased. Large amounts of pure spirit energy entered his consciousness from his original life core, causing the spirit energy in his consciousness to increase. Rumble. The blood-red psychic power surged like the waves of the sea of blood. Then it gathered crazily and formed a huge blood ball. It kept expanding and contracting, as if there was only one blood ball in the entire world. With the final contraction, the entire sea of consciousness rumbled and a dazzling miniature star was formed, along with the original miniature star. In his consciousness, the new star revolved around the old star. The old star also revolved slightly, forming a twin star structure. Chi-Chi, an even purer spirit energy after being purified by the two stars, was like a thin mist that permeated the entire consciousness. At the same time, the void pagoda in his consciousness also began to transform. Star level 2. Luo Feng's body had already stepped from the Star Traveler level 7 to the Star Traveler level 8. His spirit energy had already stepped into the Star Traveler level 2. One day later, Luo Feng stepped on the soaring shuttle, becoming a beam of light, swiftly flying through the northern region of Bloodline Star. His terrifying speed even caused the hard snow below to split apart, forming a ravine. A frozen snow mountain was madly pierced through by a golden swordfish, after which it exploded, large amounts of snow falling down. Awesome. Luo Feng stood in midair watching the snow mountain collapse, extremely carefree. Third brother. Two voices resounded from the distance. They're here. The soaring shuttle beneath Luo Feng's feet drew an arc, flying like lightning into the distance. In the distance, two men stood in the snow, one dressed in black and the other in white. It was Hong and Thunder God. The current Hong and Thunder God were in high spirits. They had just used the Bloodline Evolution Catalyst and were reminded by Luo Feng to use the Ming Yu crystals. The two of them immediately used them. At this time the effects were the best. Hong indeed broke through the barrier and reached the star level 1. And Thunder God took the opportunity to reach the star level 2. However, such an opportunity was hard to come by. The Bloodline Evolution Catalyst was only effective once. The second use would have almost no effect. However, Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God were very satisfied. After all, the Bloodline Evolution Catalyst's most important effect was allowing their future evolution path to be even faster. Third brother. Hong smiled as he looked at Luo Feng. Luo Feng descended, landing on the snow. Third brother, big brother and I are thinking of applying for the Universe Mercenary Trainee exam. What do you think? Thunder God looked at Luo Feng. Universe Mercenary Trainee exam? Luo Feng froze. That's right, big brother is now a star level 1, he can take the Universe Mercenary Trainee exam. This Universe Mercenary Trainee exam is one of the many exams of the Universe Mercenary Alliance. Back then his good brothers Harua and Bulemu went to take the Universe Mercenary Trainee exam. This entrance exam is to eliminate those who aren't suited for this life and death path. The method of elimination is mostly death. Only if you're lucky can you keep your life. Hence, this mercenary trainee exam has a high death rate. It's famous. Universe Mercenary Trainee exam? Luo Feng muttered. How was it? Hong and Thunder God looked at Luo Feng. When are you preparing to leave? Asked Luo Feng. Of course, the sooner the better. Thunder God couldn't help but say, of course. Before this, let's first take a good look at the virtual universe network, what we have to take note of during the mercenary trainee exam.